So hey YouTube, it's Petey and we're here at the remote. This is this location I shot. We came out here last year with a electronic project of mine, and I shot a video which is called the Golden Moment Peyote Remix, where I was operating a homemade synthesizer that I built with some speakers in this pavilion here. This is, what is this called?
I don't know.
Well, we're in Downers Grove, Illinois, and why don't you go ahead and do a 360 panorama. There's a housing development here, and then there's some MDU, multiple dwelling unit apartments over here. And then we have this, oh, there's the deers running over there. You want to get a shot of that deer?
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Oh, there is a couple of, oh, there's three. How many? Holy cow, there's like a bunch of them. So the porta potty, the pit stop was really nice. I gotta tell you, usually those bum me out, or they gross me out. It was really nice. Someone had been in there, I think they were on meth, they cut holes into the door, the wall, like all around, like about 30 full knife cuts all the way through on every wall where they were sitting. Just front and right and left, and then maybe a little bit on the back too. Somebody probably spent the night in there. But no shortage of people walking their dogs here, and really friendly people. More on that later. This path here, I'm guessing it's about maybe almost about a mile, maybe, or 3/4 of a mile, probably closer to it. But people were coming up, walking through here. People were walking out of there and walking this way. There's people going in off of that path.
Yeah, and there's a path behind there too. There's a sign right there.
And then there was a bunch of people parking down here and walking across the street. There was a U-Haul at this house over here. So the amount of traffic here today was like nothing else. Because we've been here, we've never played here, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I came here with that synthesizer. It seems like that wasn't the only time we were here. Like there was
Maybe we did play here. I don't know. We'd have to go look at pictures.
We did,
or yeah.
didn't
Maybe, yes. But because the tables were set up like this way. You know.
Did we
this,
play here?
I don't know. I think so.
Well, or was it just that I brought stuff out here to test? Anyway, we're going to be talking more about the experience, my perfect day. I just had a perfect day, and I want to share the rest of that with you guys and tell you the whole story and talk about some of the people we met. Because we met some really interesting and wonderful people today who were very generous and kind and complimenting us about how good the music sounded. So that was humbling and most wonderful thing to happen to me in a long time. One of the persons said something specifically to Gonti, which was really heartfelt, and we met a couple of elderly women who were really nice and also complimented us on the music. So it was a perfect day for Petey and Gonti. I think Gonti had a good time today too. This was where it was. We'll be back with the rest of the video, and I'll tell you guys more details about the fine folks that we met. But I just wanted to get this on tape. And oh, hey, there we are. So we're home from the remote. We went to this Gelman Park. And I pulled it up on the map. Here's that parking lot. There was
There was people parking over here, like a lot. There was so much going on today, and then people show up and park in here, and then they'll go and walk this path here. They'll walk their dogs through here, and we were parked here. We ended up backing up, so it's a real straight shot out of there. There is an AC outlet over here if we were going to run an extension cord, but it's right near I-355. So there is that that highway noise is audible, and then there was the people from these apartments and jogging. There was a lot of people jogging, and then people from over here. They all own dogs that apparently walking their dogs here. People from over here walking dogs, and then people just pulling in to walk their dogs. So there was, we counted them. When we got home here, there was 11 people that we met who every single person we talked to told us how great we sounded. And in the video I said, oh, it's humbling. My head, by the time I couldn't get back in the car, my head was so big from these people. And two of them were little old ladies. Right?
They were, yeah, I don't call people little ladies, but they were older women, like
this lady had a little white, like
age.
the cutest little white poodle you've ever seen. You know, usually they got like black stuff around their eyes. This thing was like flawless. This poodle.
She was had a nice haircut, you know.
And yeah, like coiffed out, and so well behaved, so well behaved. We were eating chicken salad sandwiches with lettuce, and like today was cool. I want to say it was like nature's air conditioning, like but the sun was outraging, so we were trying to like move our we have drones that we set up, trying to like move those into the sunshine to like bask in it. I don't know if you could tell I got a little bit of sun, but 11 people told us how fantastic the music was, and people were like, what are you guys playing? And I'm like, well, it's just a little something I whipped up a week ago. Like these are brand new originals that we have 3 originals, and we have the guitar instrumental set, which is uploaded on this channel. You can check that out. 10 chart-topping hits from 1948 to 1979. So like it just kind of worked out because we played the set 3 or 4 times. I think we played it 4 times. We didn't get to finish it that 4th time because the sun started going down, and I was like, let's just do the originals. But yeah. Oh, you know what though? We did a warm-up, and we only did half of it. So we did play it 4 times today. But I mean, we were there all day. And we met one guy who was started asking me about the guitar, because the yellow Strat, I only brought one guitar today. We weren't going to be filming. We were just doing this for ourselves, just to go out and have fun and not have to worry about the camera. Now, this dude was tripping because the headstock on the Strat was painted, and it's a custom paint job. So he saw this guy. He's a guitar player, so it was him and his old lady. And then he was really nice. Like, we were talking about guitars for like 15 minutes, and he's like, well, I gotta get back to walking. Like, we're here to walk. But he said something to you. He was like, this is really good of you to be doing this. Because we were like, Donna was like, well, because I said like, oh, I kind of, she wasn't a musician before I met her and asked her to be my bass player. And she said, "Oh no, I do love doing it, but it's kind of a lot of work, and like especially when we got to do these remotes, it's a day of preparation, and then the loading in, the loading out, and it is a lot for Donna because I have a bad back. I do help out, but the load out that's her. That's all her. Like loading up the car, she does that." And it's an early morning, and I'm preparing the sandwiches and all that, And she works full time, so hats off to Gotti. But what did that guy say to you? He came over and was like giving you a pep talk and telling you how awesome you were for doing it.
Yeah, but I don't remember exactly what he said.
Then there was another really nice lady, and the dude was a little bit more reserved. And we talked to them for a while, and then she's like, and we were talking about pets, we were talking about kids. They had a girl. Then she's like, he does music too. And I go, "Oh really? What do you do?" And he goes, "Well, I'm in a Pink Floyd cover band." Get the F out of here. What are you in? And he says, "I'm in Eclipse." He's the sax player in this band. They're from here. Eclipse. So I got to go see them. He said they've got a round screen and they got lasers. So he was like a jazz guy. He wasn't a rock and roll dude, but he loved us. He was like, he said if I ever would do anything rock and roll, this would be it. It would be this Pink Floyd thing. That's him stooping. And he was like, "What are you guys playing?" And like these people, they would come there and they would walk through that thing and they would hear us. So they would hear us play, depending. There was one couple, they heard the whole, like they kept going around, and it would be about one lap per song. So they heard the whole set. But typically these people would pull up and they'd see us and they'd be like, "Oh, what are these people doing? They're making music over here." So then they'd like go the other way, like to try to avoid us. And then they'd start out on the path and then they would hear us and they were like, "These guys are good." This is what I'm imagining. Because they would come up to us before they left and want to talk to us. So there was 11 people that came up and talked to us today. And I said to one of them, I said, "Yeah, it's nice meeting people when you go out, but usually it's either musicians or weirdos." Because it is. And we've met some like people that are a little, you can tell, they're just maybe autistic or on the spectrum or Asperger'd out, whatever it may be. And they back in the day, they just used to say stuff, horrible things about people like that. And I don't have that attitude. I really don't. But there's times when I've gotten into conversations with these guys where it's like, all right, we're here to play, Don't humor me telling me you're a bass player if you're not. You wish you were a bass player. So, one of these old women came creeping up. She had like lime green on it. She was like creeping up. Like there was people that would like come from there was the parking lot.
And all of a sudden there'd be a person.
Yeah, they would come from out of the woods, and like a bunch of people were doing that. So this little lady, she looked like somebody out of a fairy tale. And she was like real distinctive, like European looking. And she had like a bob haircut, like a Swiss Miss Cocoa Boy haircut, like finger in the dike kind of thing. And she came like creeping around, and she had this like lime green and like yellow. And I was like, "Oh, geez, what's going on with her?" Because you never know if they're going to be scowling at you, if they're going to be like, "Do you have a permit?" Or like, "I'm trying to sleep." Like, we don't know. So I'm thinking, oh, geez, I'm thinking the worst. Like, this lady's going to cast a spell, do an evil eye. And she comes walking up, and I turn around, and she puts her hand up, and she goes, "You my heart just melted. I was like, that old lady just said we're beautiful. And then she like went sauntering on her way, you know? Because there was one couple, a real big guy, and he had BO so bad. He had his old lady washes his clothes with dryer sheets, and she must throw a whole box of them in there because he, like, okay, we're outside. I'm like 10 feet away from dude, and every time he came by, it was like, oh, like dryer sheet and bad BO. And I mean, this is like trying to cover up the fact you just had a real nasty bowel movement by farting. That's the equivalent of this dryer sheet thing because of his BO. And I mean, he was like, they were there for about an hour, and he was like running, like working up a sweat, all smelling. Him and his old lady, like, they came up and they were like, "Arr." And, you know, because I nod, I smile, and like, I'll do like, you know, good day, how's, you know, beautiful weather today, you know, like, nod at him. And he had a whole huge thing of his garbage. He had a big, huge bag of garbage that he jammed in the public. So they live over there. They come here and jog every day, and he carries his garbage over here. Maybe there's some limited garbage situation there. I have no idea. So I don't know if he was just, you know, people get territorial, like we jog here every day. So, you know, like, get off of it, man. You know, free, beautiful music when you come walking by while you're jogging on the most beautiful day of the year. Because it was today. Today was the nicest day of the year. And I had the perfect day. We got this stuff ready last night, and then this morning it's really hectic. So I'm like, give me these supplements. I said, okay, just these. I've got this cardboard box full of supplements that I take. And today I wanted to take my ginkgo biloba. I wanted to take my lion's mane. I wanted to take my niacin. Just a few different things I was going to take. This thing called the Stamets Stack. Anyway, Peneloia cyanescens. So I go, give me one of each and two of those. And I pointed at the niacin. I meant to point at the ginkgo biloba. Now, niacin is part of the Stamets stack for microdosing psychedelic mushrooms, typically cubensis. Now, it's a little bit trickier if you're using something like an albino penis envy or a Peneloia cyanescens, which these mushrooms, they don't have a body load. They don't have any negative side effects. It's pure bliss, like a hug from the creator. It's absolutely incredible, and they're really powerful. So microdosing, like they say, if you can feel it, you took too much. Taking like 0.05 is too much. You're gonna be tripping. I mean, it's so the Stamets stack is really it's not for this type of mushroom. Okay, it's for cubensis, which is way weaker, way weaker, and also a trickster. You can have bad trips with that stuff. You know, even 2 grams, you don't know what's going to happen. That's why those shamans, they didn't like working with cubensis. A lot of times they refused to work with it. They had other more exotic species strains that they worked with. So the Stamets stack is you take lion's mane, you take your psychedelic, you wait 30 minutes, and you take niacin. And niacin is in any Super B complex. It's usually about 16 milligrams in there, which is the daily recommended amount from the FDA, is something like around 16 or 20 milligram. Now, he recommends 100. And you can go up to 200 because some people, they don't get the effect, which is called a flush. So when you take niacin, it opens up your capillaries, which are your little blood vessels. And it just, the idea of it is the lion's mane mushroom does cognitive stuff. It actually makes your body grow new brain cells. Look it up. And it does cognitive, it does memory problem, it does all this stuff with your brain. Lion's mane is amazing. So you take the lion's mane, you take your psychedelic, and then a half hour later, you take this niacin. And you want to take enough of it, you need to figure out what is the amount that you need to take to get a flush. Now, a flush is when the upper part of your body turns red like a lobster, and you have the sensation of a sunburn and pins and needles. You get like all hot, and it's like people freak out. They go to the emergency room, and it can be really uncomfortable. It can be itchy, and it's like real hot. Like your skin is, you're reacting. It's like an overdose of this supplement, this niacin. And I've been really careful. Like I bought it, and it's a capsule, and I took it and opened it up and took half, 50 milligram. And I worked my way up to being able to take 100 on a full stomach. So if I eat my breakfast, which is like a big ass bowl of cereal with a huge thing of whipped cream on it, chocolate monkey balls, all these cereal with whipped cream, and then I'll have a yogurt. And that's what it is. And then I can take that niacin, I can take 100 now, and I'll flush out, and it's pretty intense. It's like, and then, okay, like, when you eat a hot pepper, it burns your mouth, so your body, it sends these messages like, hey, he got hurt. Send some of that feel-good, that dopamine or whatever, healing juices. And then, like, you kind of get like I feel really good. Well, when you do this flush, your whole upper body like turns bright red, and you're like all hot and all itchy. So supposedly you're supposed to, like, people get addicted to flushing on niacin because of the side effect that happens after the discomfort. I never really experienced it that much. I always flushed out, and I felt okay. I didn't really notice like, oh wow, I really feel good. But I take opiates for my pain, so maybe. Anyway, today, like, give me and one of each of these. Give me two of these. And I pointed at meant to point at the ginkgo biloba, which is for your tinnitus, ear ringing, which I have. So, and I can get it to go away by taking these supplements. Then there's other things I take which make it come back. So it's kind of a losing battle. Anyway, I go, give me one of each of these and two of those. So then I'm in here, and I'm eating my cereal or whatever, and she comes in and gives me these, goes through, she opens up each bottle and gets them out, pours me some grapefruit juice to take with them, and brings all that in and hands it to me down the hatch. So then we're getting ready to leave, and I start flushing harder than I ever have, and it's coming on fast. I look at my arm, I look like a lobster, and I'm like pins and needles, like it feels like I have a sunburn, like it just comes on, and I'm like, how many of those niacin did you give me? She goes, I gave you 2, exactly what you told me. Flushing ball. So I was like, you know what? I looked it up, and I had looked into this, but I looked it up and started reading, and it's like, it's not harmful. And people were talking about taking 500 milligrams, and I was on 200. So I'm like, well, I know I flushed out on 50. I worked my way up to 100, which is pretty intense. Now I'm on 200. Great. Let's go. Let's just leave. The car's loaded up. There's no sense in me sitting here trying to power through this thing. I mean, it was about 10 minutes of it here. And it got like unbearable. Like I was on fire. And I'm thinking, well, if we go in the car, I can crank the AC and have the vents blowing on me, and it'll be more of the AC experience in the car than it is sitting here by the window unit. So we get in the car, we go over to the dollar store to get ice. They don't have it. I didn't go nuclear, but I was pissed. I was raging out a little bit in the car. God damn it. You know, that type of thing. I'm all red. No ice. And then I start feeling really good because the chemicals, I've never flushed like that, and it felt like after you are intimate with somebody, you'll get this feeling, this like magical, like peaceful, like you don't want that to end. You also don't want to talk or anything. You just want to like bask in it. That's what I got today from that flush. I swear I had that same thing, but it was stronger. It was like, now I know why people do this. That's 200 milligrams. I can't imagine what 500 would be like. Holy cow! I don't know if I can handle it. I think 200 was. So yeah, niacin flush. If you're a thrill seeker, that's something you can check that out. It doesn't harm you, and it's good for you to have your capillaries opened up. So yeah, that's how I started out my perfect day. The weather today was absolutely beautiful. We park at this place. It's it's the shortest distance to set up the gear. We just had the best day. Did I already talk about all the people we met on this video? Yeah, I did. It was 11 people that kept complimenting us on, and like we had extended conversations with 2 couples.
2 couples and then the other woman. Yeah.
Oh, the old lady. This old lady and she was old. She reminded me of your grandma a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit. And I mean, she was really old. Like the questions she was asking about our kids and stuff, she was really, really old school.
Oh, old school, yeah.
But she loved the music. And she was like, I miss playing guitar. So she was a guitar player at some point in her life. She had arthritis. And then I started in, well, you think arthritis is bad. Showing her the 2 fingers, which I can't help but do that. I cannot help myself. I know it's just the most absolute, most pathetic, self-serving, the worst thing I should ever do. But I can't help myself. I cannot let someone tell me they enjoy or like they thought the music was good without saying, well, as a matter of fact, most guitar players have 4. So yeah, that was Petey's perfect day. It was like I just didn't want it to end. I mean, mind you, I have like horrific back pain today, which it's always like that on a remote. It's bad. It's always bad. My perfect day as far as back pain situation is getting up, hobbling over here and reclining, and having to only get up to urinate, to have her get my pills for me 3 times and bring me food, which I don't think has ever happened. I'll just get up and do stuff myself because I don't want to be like, honey, can you, But honestly, if I could, like if I was loaded and I could just hire people to make food and bring it to urinate for me, could you take a piss for me? I really gotta go. But yeah, that was it was really a great day, and I had that nice and flush, which was very pleasant. It was very very pleasant. The only thing is, we didn't do any filming. Both of us probably have completely blown out our fingers.
Yeah.
Are you sore?
This, yeah, this one.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna. Gamti took a bunch of photos. I'm gonna do a photo montage. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. And I hate to come on and be like, "Oh, I had this perfect day," and 11 people compliment. You don't understand how much I've been like snubbed in my life about this music thing. About how I like. I'm not allowed to talk about it around my family. And this is like who I am. That's unfortunately it's boiled down to that. There's nothing else going on. So to have a bunch of people that I don't know just come up and pay service to that should go a long ways to help me to just deal with my insecurity, I would think. You know? Because the way it is now, I feel the need to like tell people that I know, like, I really want the people in my closest circle to listen to the album. I make an album every year in January, to listen to the album. And if I'm doing new music, to check out the videos. You know? If we only get to go out a couple of times a year and there's a handful of these videos, I like, nothing would make me happier than these people who are my family to say, hey, I really liked Rumpa Pum Pum. Or 607 is beautiful. To just tell me. Hokum, like my brother, I kind of pestered him about it. I brought it up to him like twice. And I was like, there's some stuff on there, you know. And then he came over here. He was going to get something from me that he thought could help him significantly. So he had hope. My brother's been hopeless for a long time. He's got some severe issues, and he's depressed. So he was hopeful. And he came over, and he had written down a full song-by-song review for Hokum, for the album I did. And he read that off to me, and that was like the nicest thing he's done, like, in our entire relationship. That was the nicest thing that he's ever done for me. And it means more to me than just about anything else. But before that, it was, you know, the compliments were few and far between. I mean, I remember him like flipping out on one of my demos and like laughing and like calling his wife, "You got to hear this," you know. So it's like you'll get that little bit of confirmation, and then it's like it won't have anything to do with you for the longest time. And I realize that's a tool that people use. You know, I'm not gonna give you what you want. Why would I do that? You're my brother. I'm supposed to love you. You know, why would I do that when I can fuck you over? So that's kind of what I'm used to, is not being able to talk about what I love to do. If I do bring it up, it's like, oh, it's a big deal. People are, and it's time to go. Change the subject. So I don't talk about that stuff around the family. I'm not allowed to. So when you're coming from like an abusive childhood that I went through, and you've been picked on and bullied your entire life and then rejected by your family, it fucks you up like unbelievably bad. Unbelievably bad. So then to be out and have 11 people that you've never met come up to you. Am I bullshitting about this, or was there 11 people?
No, there was. I counted when we got home.
Louder with the camera?
There was 11. I counted when we got home.
Yeah.
We counted 10, and I was like, oh wait, there was that other lady with the, German Shepherd. But yeah.
And we're not like looking at these people in the eye. We're
I don't make eye
not
contact
looking at them
with
at all.
anybody.
And we had conversations with almost all of them. There was like maybe 2 of them where it was just like, beautiful weather today, huh? And then, yeah, you guys sounded great. That type of thing. So anyway, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I could keep talking about this. 36 minutes. Nobody's watching. I get 1 minute at the beginning of the video is all I get from you bastards. So, yeah, that was my perfect day. Try that nice and flush. That's... it feels pretty good. And we're going to have some tacos tonight. I want to have some quality time with my chickie boy, Kita. I want a huggy. And I've been watching not Cyrax. Who's the other guy? Boglin. King Cobra JFS. He's a YouTuber. He's a guitar player. And you should check his music out. I left him a real positive comment and he deleted it. Seems like a cowardly thing to do. Anyway, you guys, I will talk to you soon. Most important that you hug your pets. Take care of yourselves. Man, I wish I could stay in this good mood from here out. Tomorrow something really horrifically bad is going to happen to me. And peace.